As I record this video, it is 11:11. And what does that mean? It means that if you're seeing this video, then you are meant to be here. You can take it as a good sign that you probably are and consider yourself the lone wolf in your family. And I'm going to show you in this video how you can finally meet your soul tribe, how you can release the beliefs and the energy that is literally blocking them from coming into your life so that you can finally feel the connection, the love, and the support in your life that you've been searching for such a long period of time. Now, also realize with this that this is a natural progress and process that you go through when you go through a spiritual awakening process. So sometimes when you're the lone wolf, you might think there's something wrong. You might think my friends aren't getting me, my family doesn't understand me, and I feel very alone. But this is one of the stages of initiation on you becoming more aware of yourself. You kind of in a way dealing with your own stuff as well, so that then as you go inwards, you then realize how much you appreciate the connection that you have with other people. Now, I say this because I've been through the same exact thing, and for years, I felt like the lone wolf. Back in 2012, I went through my spiritual awakening. I went from somebody that was, super out there, partying a lot. I smoked a lot of cannabis. I was working my 9-to-5 job and then just hanging out with friends. And eventually, I learned meditation. I started going inwards more. And within 2 or 3 weeks, my whole entire life transformed. And it got to the point to where when I went to work, people were literally like, what is wrong? Like, what happened, Aaron? Like, you're such a different person now. And at first I thought there was something wrong with me, but then I was realizing, no, my energy's changing. I went from very frenetic and my energy all over the place to being more grounded. I got off Adderall within weeks, which is the prescription drug I got for ADHD. I started meditating. I started doing mantras. I became very fascinated with like the law of attraction, manifestation, spirituality. And there's like a whole new realm of reality that was open to me that I never knew possible. And it was so exciting. Like even to this day, there's like these songs I used to listen to back in the day, like Enigma. If you guys ever heard of Enigma? I listened to like albums of that when I was going through my awakening. When I listen to it now, it brings me back to that like period in time. And when I went through that, though, I remember I was so excited to learn everything I was learning about the law of attraction. Even I was into conspiracy theories and different things because you kind of realize that reality is a little bit different than the way you've always believed. And it's exciting and it's expansive. And at the same time, I, at that moment, went vegan and I lost a whole bunch of weight and people thought I was on drugs. And of course, I was on nothing. I was just like meditating but because I looked that way, that was people's perception. And I would be excited to explain to my friends, my family, all this stuff, but all it did was ostracize me even more. Because then my dad was like, what happened to my son? Literally, that was like a very emotional, actual moment when that happened. Because he literally thought I went crazy. And then friends were like, what happened with Aaron? My dad's calling my friends. My friends are like, well, we don't know what's happening to him either. And then I just felt even more alone. And then as I would like go out into the world and stuff to connect with people, it was hard for me to connect with people. And I would just conclude that like, okay, I'm okay. I don't need anybody else. I just need to be with myself. And for years, literally a couple years, that was my reality. I found it hard to connect with people. I didn't even really want to connect with people because I had this belief that they're not going to understand me. In my friend group and in my family group, like my family, I just felt kind of alone and like something changed and I felt like the weird one. And that was something that I stayed with for years, but there was something that changed everything, and that's what I want to share with you in this video, is how you can do what I did to change it all, because I'll share with you my story, but my life is completely different now. I'm surrounded by so many soul family people, and I've attracted so much of my soul family into my life that it's like I am excited to connect with people, and like it's almost to a place to where I have to like really be mindful of where I put my energy because I'm so busy and I have such an abundance of friends around me, you know. And it's not just because I'm on YouTube and I have all this like I've literally seen so many people go through the same transformation, whether you do what I do for a living or not. So just know that. You might say, well, he's on YouTube and he's in front of a lot of people, so he's attracting them. The thing that made all the difference in the world was back in like back really in 2017 was when everything shifted. And one of the main things that shifted, I became aware of, is first off, I had such a resistance to being in what we call the 3D. I had such a resistance to, like, I didn't want to get a job. I was just wanting to ascend into higher levels of consciousness. And what I had to eventually do is I had to drop my judgments about other people. Because this is what I realized. If I would go into reality, work, whatever, and I'd be like, people don't get me, and I would judge them almost sometimes too, because that was my way of rationalizing. It's a spiritual ego, really is what this is. And I would say, like, they don't understand me, they're asleep in the matrix, they haven't been through a spiritual awakening yet. And that's a judgment. And that's also something that feeds the spiritual ego, so it's like not very healthy. But what I had to do is I had to let that belief go. Because my belief was all people, like, most people in the world are just totally asleep, totally unaware. And because of that, I can't connect with them. So one thing that I learned to do is I learned to actually enjoy my 9-to-5 job at the time, which actually helped me connect with people at a different level. But also I had to drop my beliefs that all people are asleep and they don't understand, like, the spiritual awakening content, because that belief would then trap me only being around other people that also believed the same thing. When I let go of that belief, so much began to change. I started actually connecting with people. Now, if you fast forward a little bit more, one of the things that made the biggest difference in the world for me, by far, in many different ways, was when I committed to my passion. When I committed, and I had, the doubts never really went away until I worked through them. So it's not like when I made the choice to go daily on YouTube. It's not like, I let go of the perfectionist mentality. I started to feel credible. I felt worthy and enough. I knew how to edit. I had all the skills. None of that. I just simply decided to commit and to start. And what happened is as I started making videos every single day, it started to change my identity, and I started to tap into my heart center more, and I had a different energy. And what happened is as my YouTube channel started to grow, I started to become more comfortable with myself as well, which maybe at a certain point I was looking to external validation for support and stuff, but I started to believe in myself more as I started to get a different result in reality. My identity shifted. But shortly after that, I eventually connected to another YouTuber as I started to grow named Victor Odo, who is my best friend, also my business partner, and full-time purpose. We show people how to go full-time doing what they love. And one of the things was that because I was passionate, we had so much love, we were able to relate with each other at a deep level because we were both going full-time, we were both learning. I was learning, I was like the YouTube guy that knew all these YouTube hacks because my YouTube channel was exploding, and he was like a coach that knew all these coaching, ways to get coaching clients and stuff. So we'd each give each other ideas and stuff so that we could grow what we were doing. And from that, we met first off in Vegas, we did a video together. He then started asking me questions like, what is Vegas like to live? What is it like to have a family there? Because he has 3 kids and a wife. And I started explaining to him, I was like, it's not what you think. Of course, I saw that as my opportunity to upsell Vegas so that he'd move there. And eventually he moved to Vegas 2 months later, and we became best friends. And then from there, the Soul Fam continued to expand. It's like we at first felt like, oh, finally, I'm not a lone wolf anymore. I got a partner in this. You know what I mean? And that changed everything. But it was when I started, none of this would happen. I wouldn't have met, my soulmate, Heather. I wouldn't have met my other soul brother, Matt. I wouldn't have met, a lot of the people in my life if it weren't for me going after my passion and being in my ideal frequency. Because realize this, I noticed this when I was, dating, ex-girlfriends and stuff. If I was with somebody, it was always a reflection of my own energy. So if I was working a 9-to-5 job I hated, I tend to always be in relationships with people that work 9-to-5 jobs they hated, because that was the energy I was putting out. But once I started going full-time with my passion, I only attracted women that were also going full-time with their passion, or full-time with their passion, because it's a one-on-one reflection. But one of the things that I highly recommend you do is you commit to you being in your ideal frequency of committing to your purpose, to your passion. If you don't know what that is, you simply set the intention to start tapping inwards. A lot of times what happens is we have a lack of awareness to what we're thinking and feeling, and we're so trying to find it on the outside that we're not aware of that it's within us already. It's just something that's found within. I simply knew expressing these ideas was like what I was passionate about. And as I started to commit to that, it changed everything. So for this, realize that being the lone wolf, also another thing that'll hold you back is if you keep calling yourself the lone wolf. Now realize this, lone wolf also has within the words lonely. Lonely. And lonely is a feeling like you're missing something. There's a difference between alone and lonely. Lonely tends to have a little bit more of a negative connotation. Alone is like there's nothing wrong. I'm just alone right now. And at the deeper levels of reality, we're really alone anyways because we're all reflections of each other. So there's really only more of us. But the more we say we're the lone wolf, we're the lonely wolf, the more that we stay blocked and the more that we stay in that identity. But instead of being alone, what if you realized you were all one? We are all one, all alone. A-L-O-N-E. Kind of a cool play on words that just came to my mind. But imagine we're all connected. We're all one anyways. But the belief that I am the lone wolf, I identify as a lone wolf, will keep us as the lone wolf because reality just wants to feed us more of what we believe to be true about ourselves. So one thing I'd highly recommend you do is let go of the identity of lone wolf. And instead, start to embody your purpose. Instead, begin to let go of the judgments. Become aware of the judgments you might have about other people. And then one thing I'd highly recommend you do to really meet your high vibe tribe, your soul family, is start getting into the unknown. Get uncomfortable. Now, the unknown, we all have this little box that we stay in of what we know, how we think, feel, and act. We have activities we do, and if we feel like a lone wolf, it's because what we are doing, thinking, acting, and feeling as is keeping us in a box. When I started making videos, I was out of my comfort zone, but in the newness is where all the magic happens. So as I started to make videos, I started allowing new opportunities to flow through, new people to come into my life. You create more connections because you're out of the old identity. That's really the key to getting out of the old identity too. It's literally doing something unknown and then observing yourself, observing how you think, how you feel, how you act. Become aware of the old identity, the old patterns, and then begin to let them go, and you will naturally start to feel more connected. And then be more okay with yourself. It's another really important part of this. Be okay being alone. Because if we resist being alone, which is different than being lonely, if we resist being alone just with ourselves, then we're saying there's something wrong with me and I need to find something else on the outside, and that energy field is like almost needy. And sometimes we put other people on a pedestal. It'd be so amazing for me to meet my soul family. We put that on a pedestal, and then it's like we go out and it's like we're almost, just like people go out and they're like, are you my soulmate? Are you my twin flame? Are you this? And that puts such a huge pressure on other people you're talking to. It's the same way with soul family. It's like, are you my soulmate? Are you my soulmate? Are you my soul fam? Are you my high vibe tribe? And they're like, dude, it's just an energy thing. But if you take them off a pedestal, if you start to follow your passion, if you let go of the identity of being the lone wolf, if you let go of the judgments that you might have towards other people, you'll find that people connect with you more. But just own it. Own even being instead of the lonely wolf, the alone wolf for now. Feel okay in your own energy field. Know that it's okay. The more fun you have, the more contagious your energy is. The more fun you have being alone, the more likely you are to make other connections. And realize that now on the planet, by the way, it is a time of connecting with other people. Like next week, I'm doing the Shift Experience. I don't know when this video is coming out, but I'm doing the Shift Experience live next week. And on May 6th, 7th, and 8th. If you haven't joined yet, how about I'll have this video go out. This is the last video that's going to go out. If you haven't joined the Shift Experience, it's May 6th, 7th, and 8th. And this video, or that 3-day event, is all about understanding how to embody your purpose, to remove the doubts, the blocks, the things that are keeping you back, and then also how to connect and meet your soul family. There's no more in-person tickets left, but there are virtual tickets, and you'll meet them in Zoom breakout groups from all over the world. And it's so supportive. But even the live event that I'm doing, I have so many people coming in to speak to do it with me. It's not just me. I've got Heather, I've got Victor, I've got Doug, my shadow work integration coach, I got my friend Matt, I got Julie, I've got Rebecca, I've got all these friends coming in that are amazing at what they do to help with this process, because this is the time of community. And just through seeing us all work together too, you'll be inspired, I think, because we do these Solina retreats every year, 3 times a year, these plant medicine retreats, and when we do them, it's very interesting because people are so inspired by just how we unitly work together, because there's like 8 of us, and they're like, oh, we want that. And then they create that with each other. So if you haven't joined the Shift Experience yet, now's the last time to join. Click the link below, go to theshiftexperience.com. And then also, if you want to learn more why sometimes in a high vibration you feel lonely, this video right here will explain it and help you undo all the false patterns that are keeping you feeling lonely. So watch this video right now to go to the next level. In this video, I'm going to show you the 3 reasons high vibrational people feel lonely and why many times they will literally block either their soul connection